I wanted to talk about action on trailers because I know at least with creature baits, there's days where I don't like action at all, and then
Well,
there's days where I feel like a little bit of kicking or a
yeah,
commotion can be good for you.
I can walk out to my tackle room real quick here and show you if you guys want to bear with me walking out here. I can show you.
Yeah, yeah, because I think we know what that Zoom trailers those two look like, but some people may not know the difference between the two. And one of
Sure.
them looks so unassuming. I think it's the big salty chunk, the one with the triangular straight tails. So unassuming.
Well, that's one thing that I've seen about fishermen today on a jig is most jig fishermen I see now, they like the curly leg trailers. I mean, that's what they prefer, but I still prefer the straight leg ones.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
very few people, except for like the old school guys, they're all using like the cars right now and stuff like
right.
that. Which way they work good, but seems like if you can get them to hit those straight tails when they work a lot better.
Yeah, and you look at these when you see these plastics, you're gonna look at this and say, why would I put that when I have all this nice, pretty stuff that I could buy that has appendages and there's kicks here, does that, and then you look at these chunk trailers. Unless you're a jig fisherman that's had some experience with those, you probably would never use those trailers.
Yeah, let me sort of show you guys here. Let me get a couple. I can show you the threading and then the hooking them on and the curly tails here.
Those where they have an idea of like what we're talking about. And by the way, for you guys that are listening, Randy has a signature jig. That jig that he was showing us, that's his signature jig that he created. I'll get a link. I think Tackle Warehouse you said has those.
Yeah, they got called
So
the block it throwback jig.
Block It Throwback jig. That's the one you want to look for if you want to have the specific design that Randy has. Go to Tackle Warehouse. You probably can Google search Randy Block It Throwback jig and find all his colors and jigs. Definitely give those a try. What about the hook in that guy? Do you like a big hook? What's your theory
Yeah,
on
this
hooks?
it's got a 4-aught in there, a 4-aught mustad. You can see it.
Right.
But here's the types here. This is the chunk style right here. You can see that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
this is the big salty chunk. And when you're hooking
That's the
that
one I
on,
like.
you're just this is one of my favorites too. You're just threading it right on like that. So you're hooking it on where it just hangs down like that. And then when you're threading it on, this would be the super chunk here. You're actually threading it up on the shank of the hook,
Right.
which gives it a completely different look there. So it threads on like that. And then you got the curly leg one here. This is a Zoom Speed Craw. So the two different styles are like this with the Speed Craw and the chunk style. Now,
Right.
I like, as far as anytime I use the curly tails, it's usually when I think the fish are a little bit more active, and especially if the water's a little bit clear, because they can see that visual action of the legs moving.
Right.
But if I'm just like you, Brian, if I had to get away with them, it'd be the old school, big salty chunk, which is like the old pork frog.
Yeah. That
Uh,
that one right there. And it's so unassuming until you put that in the water and you move your rod tip a little bit and it's just so lifelike. It literally
yeah.
just undulates so naturally. But in the
Mhm.
package, it doesn't look like anything. You look at that and you're like, no, I would never throw that. It's
Yeah, one little tip I can give you guys on that is like when you thread some on there, make sure that you take some of that material off the end of it. I usually just take a pair of scissors and make it real thin on the end, because that way you have a lot more of the bite gap exposed on the hook. You don't have as much
uh
plastic in the way. Plus, it just like you said, it gives a little bit better action with that.
got you. Now, if you found this clip from Straight Up Fishing School helpful for you at all, I'd love to have you in the group of anglers that we have within our school. This is a great place for you guys to learn the best gear, the best places, the best techniques to help you catch more fish. Fishing actually isn't as hard as you may think it is. You just got to understand a few fundamental principles to help you catch more fish. Check the link in the description box of this video or the comment section. Click on it, join the group. Fishing is going to be a lot more fun when you understand the very simple truths to help you catch more fish.